news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. DeWitt County once again has heard back from Enel Green Energy after reaching out regarding curtailment violations from the Alta Farms 2 wind farm. DeWitt County and Enel Green Energy have had disagreements in the past over curtailment, as well as an ADLS light system that would turn off flashing lights on wind turbines if aircraft are not present. At Monday night's Land Use Committee meeting, Zoning Administrator Elizabeth Weichel said they've once again gotten the same response regarding the ADLS system from Enel, stating that they are working on things.
We have an update on the Alta Farm issues that we talked about last month.
Yes, I talked to Dan Markwell about what we should do and having him send a letter, and he said that we should send the letter first, or that I should send the letter first and give them a deadline to start, sending us the information. And we did actually get a response back. They said below is all the curtailment information that they have. It says, I'm working with Enel internally to get you the decommissioning report as well as the liability insurance certificate. For the ADLS towers, we are continuing to work on them in order to get the site back into full operation. We have found more damaged components within the radar. For now, the lights all still work and flash as the default for aircraft safety. And then I got the curtailments.
When it comes to curtailment, the county has run into a he said, she said situation, as Enel claims to have not made any violations. This is a direct contradiction of the claims of the county. Committee Chair Buck Carter asked for more follow-up from Weichel, but she believes the county cannot ask for more than what is already being provided.
So
no response to the curtailment issues?
Just that they did curtail. It's just the normal thing that they send us. It says what days they curtailed and what times they started and ended, which is what we've been getting all along.
But then we have several what we said they didn't curtail on certain days.
The ones you asked me about, they say they did. So
don't believe your lying eyes.
Yeah, I think what we previously did, and my recommendation would be that we ask for the actual operating report for those specific days that shows what time the tower actually shut down versus what time the alert was issued. It's just common knowledge. We know for a fact that they don't curtail.
They did give me dates and times. I mean, they have exact, it says, on such and such date, we started at this time, we ended at this time, and it's per the National Weather Service. So I don't know that we can ask more than that.
Carter pointed out that the agreement states that curtailment must occur when there is a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning in the entirety of the county. Weichel noted that the National Weather Service has already reached out to discuss only notifying the wind farm when the warning is in the farm's vicinity.
When do they think they have to curtail? Is it when there's a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning, or is it when the National Weather Service contacts them?
I believe it's when the National Weather Service contacts them, because I think that is part of the deal, that anytime there is a warning that is for this county, that they automatically get a contact. The National Weather Service has actually reached out to me because they're looking for us for guidance going forward, because they're wanting to not have to notify them for things that are not in their area. So like if it's in DeWitt County, but it's on the other side of the county, they're looking for clarification from us because they've been contacting them for everything in the county.
An ongoing issue.
It's unfortunate because it's not what they testified to, how it's being done. And yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it there.
I'd say it's not the conditions of their special use permit.
And it's easy for them to say, yeah, we curtail during this because of National Weather Service. But then how do we know if they did? Or how do they know if they did? I mean, it may say, but like you said, if we see them going at that time and they're
Their
all
agreement
around
with
the
DeWitt
house.
County was that they would curtail when there was a severe storm or tornado warning for DeWitt County. Yeah, National Weather Service doesn't always notify them then. In fact, National Weather Service has been out of operation for about 3 months in Lincoln, so they're operating out of Chicago. An ongoing saga.
The committee also quickly discussed Governor J.B. Pritzker's recent temporary suspension of incentives for data centers in the state. Members briefly jabbed at the move, joking that it would revert after the election and the state would come in over the top to legislate on data centers similar to wind and solar. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, Warner Library highlighting summer reading events. The first real heat wave of the summer is upon us, and local law enforcement is offering a word of caution for the next few days in central Illinois. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers told the Hart Media Group the extreme summer heat introduces unique challenges that require proactive community awareness. During severe heat waves, police experience an uptick in emergency service calls, often related to heat exhaustion or other heat-induced medical distress.
You know, we talk about this every year when we get into this season, and you know, here it is this week. As I said, we're going to be experiencing some extreme temperatures, especially with that humidity and bringing that heat index up there to you know, some dangerous levels for some of our folks. And so, you know, checking on your elderly neighbors, friends, family members, things of that nature, making sure they're keeping cool and hydrated, and also our pets, making sure that those outdoor pets have plenty of shade and shelter and plenty of fresh, cool water. So, you know, we oftentimes will get complaints this time of year of pets in vehicles.
A primary concern for local law enforcement is checking in on senior citizens and individuals with pre-existing health conditions who may live alone. Chief Lowers is asking community members to check on elderly neighbors to make sure air conditioning units are functioning properly and that they have water or fans to stay cool.
You know, I apply that, certainly prioritize not only the pets, but the children that are left in vehicles, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, you've seen the different images of how fast a vehicle can heat up in the sun and in this type of weather. And so being cognizant of not leaving, obviously, our young friends and our children, but also our pets and things in vehicles. Just merely cracking a window is seldom enough in this type of weather. So just ask everybody to be cognizant, police themselves, and you know, if you come across anything of concern, please don't hesitate to reach out to our non-emergency number, and we'll have an officer come check those things out. We want to make sure everybody's safe through this heat. The other things of just obviously staying hydrated, not overexerting yourself outside. You know, it seems like this first time, you know, this first blast of the year is always an issue. Because it's such that transformation change from winter to now. You know, we're not quite used to the hot weather yet, and so these extreme changes can certainly make a difference for us. So everybody just be safe in that regard, and keep your eyes open, keep your eyes and ears open. And
sure. Chief Lauer stresses the department maintains a zero tolerance policy for situations where lives are jeopardized in hot vehicles, and officers will respond immediately to any reported sightings.
Being a country, you know, a farm kid, livestock kid, you know, I always just think about those things can't fend for themselves. They can't go to the refrigerator and fix a cold drink. They can't, unchain themselves or take themselves out of a kennel or a fence yard to go to the shelter, so they rely on us, and we need to make sure that we're being responsible in their care. So, you're talking about the weather shifts and whatnot. It's the same thing in the fall or the early winter, when we go from warm to cool. 50 degrees in January feels really good. And we almost put on our short sleeve shirts. 50 degrees today, it'd feel like we're freezing to death,
Yep.
So it just becomes relevant to the season. But along with that, kids are out of school now. Kind of an exciting here, really the first full week, I guess, of school not being in session. So we're seeing a lot more activity in our local parks and bicycle and pedestrian traffic around our residential neighborhoods. So just be extra cognizant of that, exercising, from the parent standpoint, exercising that bicycle safety, and increasing motorcycles and motorcycle safety, and slowing down and safe driving in our residential areas. Like I said, it's just been an extreme increase in outdoor activity. I love to see that, but along with that, we just got to make sure that we're being extra safe and cautious out there on our roadways.
Temperatures are expected to approach, if not exceed, 90 degrees with heat indices in the triple digits. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
It's the quiet moments you count on. A call that connects instantly, a show that never buffers, a home that just works. That's the difference with Connexus Fiber Internet. We built a buried fiber network designed for consistency, earning us the title of top-rated fiber internet provider in Illinois. With plans starting as low as $25 a month and 3-year price lock options, it's reliability you can feel without the unpredictability. Because with Connexus, connection means everything. Experience better at Connexus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time is 21 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. This summer, the Warner Library is offering extra summer reading club prize tickets for attending their events. Mel Snow, youth program coordinator at the library, explains that they have standing programs like Barbie Club, Lego Club, and story times for families to participate in. However, they also have special programs going on almost every day this summer. She notes that registration for each program ends by 8 a.m. on the day of.
So we have, like I talked about those standing programs, like Barbie Club is every Monday at 5, and our family Lego Club is every Tuesday at 5, and our youth Lego Club is every Wednesday at 5. And those you do not have to sign up for, just like our story times. We have a toddler time at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, and our preschool pal story time at 10 a.m. on Fridays. And those are every week. You do not have to register. You can just show up for those programs. But we have programs that we want you to register for that go on, and those are happening almost every day too. So yeah, we give you up until the day of, and that's just for us to prep and plan and get any last minute supplies, because a lot of these are crafty. So that's why we have registration for some of the programs and not all of the programs.
You can always, if you go to register and it's full or closed, maybe just call the library, because maybe we did have some spots open, but again, we're planning. So if you want to call and then maybe we got some overflow, you could make it in. Don't be afraid to call and ask.
Registration is online, actually. That's how we prefer. You can call if you're not an online person, which we have older patrons who just want to call and register for programs. That's totally fine. You can always call the library and we can register for you. But we have QR codes all over the library that you can scan, take you right to our registration page. And our website, it's very easy to navigate. It's right on our website. You can register for any event that we have advertised. So this year we have more programs, and we want to encourage people to come to those. So yeah, you get extra tickets for attending these programs. So very exciting.
Good.
Later this month, Snow points out that they will be hosting a mobile science lab. On the last Saturday of the month, she adds that they will be hosting Equipment Day, which is an opportunity for families to see large farm implements and participate in pedal tractor races.
topics.
So I wanted to just highlight the mobile science lab that we have coming. It's the Illinois Natural History Survey. They are coming on Tuesday, the 30th at 4:00, and they have hands-on activities that are related to our theme, Plant a Seed, Read. And that's, again, a family program. So as long as you are if you're under 8, you just need to have an adult with you. But we're encouraging people to come to that because they bring a mobile lab. It's like it's a bus, and it's it'll be parked in the library lawn. It should be really cool. And then our equipment day, I just want to highlight that the last Saturday of this month at 10 a.m. We're partnering with the local Case dealership, and they're really putting on a lot for us, bringing things out. We're doing pedal tractor races, story times, all kinds of fun things on the lawn. I'm really excited. That is going to be Saturday, June 27th at 10 a.m.
With the expectation of higher foot traffic at the library this summer, they have decided to partner with the Neighborhood Care Center. Emily Dunham asks the community to donate items to help keep the nonprofit's shelves stocked.
I have one more thing that I want everybody to know. We did this in the winter. I don't remember what month, but we are partnering with Neighborhood Care Center again. So when you walk into the library, to the right in the main lobby, we're going to have a big table. There is a section there that you can donate to Neighborhood Care. So there's a list of items like hamburger helper, Chef Boyardee, ketchup, barbecue sauce, things like that. And I posted it to our Facebook too. So if you want to buy those specific items, that'd be great. But you can drop those items off at the library. We also still have part of that table will be our garden section. So say you have a surplus of tomatoes in your garden, you can drop that off at the library. But we are working with Neighborhood Care again to help keep their shelves stocked. If you're looking to pick up some food items, you're going to want to go through Neighborhood Care for that. But you can drop things off.
Snow and Dunham remind that you can sign up for the Summer Reading Club anytime before the program ends on July 31st by visiting them at 310 North Quincy Street in Clinton. Learn more about the calendar of events by going to vwarner.org or by finding the Warner Library Facebook page. Breaking down the state budget and its impact on agriculture, Illinois Farm Bureau Director of State Legislation Chris Davis says specific line items like cover crops, soil and water conservation district operations, and county fairs were not hurt.
It's really interesting to really claim victory over maintaining line items or seeing very small incremental increases in line items. The governor's introduced budget back in February had cover crops cut $300,000 back to $660,000, and to see that restored to a level funding of $960,000, to have soil and water conservation districts zeroed out at one point in time, and to see them restored to $4.5 million for operations. These were victories for agriculture. To see the agricultural budget restored to really essentially level funding. In particular, county fair deferred maintenance, seeing a slight increase in that line item. That's essential to our membership across the state, and really happy and excited to see these funding levels for agriculture.
Ag education, FFA dues, and grants also maintained level funding levels. Summer concert season is here, and the Better Business Bureau wants concert goers to pay attention to fake and phony tickets. Don O'Brien, a scam investigator at the BBB, says extra fees and high prices are often red flags when purchasing resale tickets on secondary sites.
Thing that you need to look at is, so I'm going to Soldier Field. Let's say I didn't buy directly from Soldier Field or Ticketmaster. Now, each ballpark, like the St. Louis Cardinals, for instance, and the Cubs, they both have their own secondary place, like a StubHub, if you will. I believe that might be the primary one for those. So you can buy from trusted secondary markets. Those are fine, and they should promote that. The main vendor will promote, okay, hey, if you need to sell your tickets, go here because this is our trusted ticket resale option. So again, what we see a lot is on Facebook Marketplace is especially a place where they will be. I would never purchase tickets from someone to a big event because these tickets are not cheap. Even when I bought my original tickets, and I'm going to sit in the heavens in the 400 section, and they're a couple $100 a piece. So if you want to be down closer to the action, those are going to be more than $1,000 a ticket. So scammers like to see that. So they may, and again, in the age of AI, they can doctor up tickets and make it seem like they're real and send them right to your phone like any other real agency could.
What can you do to avoid the scams? O'Brien says to know the source before purchasing the tickets. If it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Concert goers can check out legit ticket platforms and sellers online at bbb.org. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. It's DeWittDailyNews.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump says all Iran has to do to end hostilities with the U.S. is to sign an agreement that's already been fleshed out, but he says Iran has been foot-dragging, playing us for suckers, is how the president puts it. His bottom line remains the same: Iran must never get a nuclear weapon. True to his word, the president ordered more strikes on Iranian military targets. The Iran conflict has driven the cost of energy higher, but the president says that prices will plunge rapidly once the war has been settled. Flight disruptions and widespread power outages amid violent weather across parts of the Midwest. Storms moved into the Chicago area yesterday afternoon, bringing down trees and damaging some buildings. Stock futures pointing to a higher open this morning on Wall Street. The Dow futures up 349 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. In a game heard on WHOW, Davis Martin threw 6 scoreless innings for his 9th win as the Chicago White Sox beat the Atlanta Braves 2-1 on Wednesday night to move into first place in the AL Central.
Another victory for the first place Chicago White Sox. 7 straight at right field as Davis Martin outdueled Chris Sale 2-1 in a classic pitcher's duel.
The 2-2. He got him swinging. Another payoff. He got him looking on a cutter. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts for Davis Martin. The 1-0 pitch popped up. Might drop out at shallow right. Makes a running catch. White Sox win. What a play.
Wow. After taking the first 2 against the Braves, the Sox go for a sweep on Thursday and an 8th straight at home. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 o'clock right here on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The White Sox will look to sweep the series with the Braves tonight on WHOW. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. Jordan Walker homered and drove in 4 runs, his latest big game in a breakout season, and the St. Louis Cardinals beat the New York Mets 9-2 on Wednesday night to match a season high with their 6th straight victory. St. Louis starter Andre Palante, who is 7-4, allowed 2 runs and 3 hits across 6 innings. Palante earned his 3rd straight win and surpassed his win total from 2025 when he finished 6-15. Walker knocked in the first run with an RBI single off New York opener Austin Warren, who was 1-3, in a 2-run first inning. Walker gave the Cardinals a 7-0 lead in the 4th by hammering David Peterson's fastball into center field seats for a 3-run shot. Walker's single and 401-foot drive gave him 52 RBIs, one more than his previous career best set in his rookie season. He also surpassed his previous high by hitting his 17th homer, and he has at least 1 RBI in 5 straight games. The 24-year-old Walker had multiple hits for the 5th time in 6 games and is batting .424 over his last 7 games. Nelson Velasquez preceded Walker's homer with a 2-run shot in the 3rd that gave the Cardinals a 4-0 lead. Alec Burleson homered for the 2nd straight night in the 9th and extended his hitting streak to 10 games. St. Louis has outscored the Mets 16-2 in the first 2 games of the 3-game series. Mason Wynn added an RBI and reached base 3 times. Jose Fermin provided an RBI single as the Cardinals won a 6th straight game for the 2nd time this year. Francisco Alvarez hit a 2-run homer in his 2nd game back after missing 4 weeks with a torn meniscus in his knee, but the Mets were held to 3 hits. Juan Soto was 0-for-3 and is mirrored on a 3-for-30 skid. Warren threw 33 pitches to 7 hitters in his 2nd appearance as an opener. Peterson was tagged for 6 runs and 7 hits in 3 2/3 innings. St. Louis right-hander Hunter Dobbins is 1-0 with a 2.77 ERA and will face New York right-hander Christian Scott, who is 2-0 with a 2.5 ERA in the series finale on Thursday afternoon. Sterling Thompson hit a pinch single off Daniel Palencia's 100-mile-per-hour fastball in the 9th inning to give the Colorado Rockies a 3-2 victory over the Chicago Cubs on Wednesday night. It was the 7th career RBI for Thompson, the 24-year-old rookie from nearby Longmont. Thompson singled to right field with runners on 1st and 3rd and no outs came after Ian Happ hit a 424-foot solo homer off Antonio Senzatella in the top of the 9th to tie it. It was Happ's team-leading 15th homer of the season. TJ Rumfield hit his 8th homer of the season for Colorado, a 2-run shot to right field for a 2-1 lead in the 8th. Rumfield had just 1 home run in his previous 22 games. After blowing the save opportunity, Senzatella, who is 6-0, picked up the win. Palencia is 1-1 and took the loss. Chicago's Pete Crow Armstrong tripled in the 4th inning and scored. The hit extended his on-base streak to 14 games, a stretch during which he is batting .356. The Cubs have lost 22 of their past 29 games after starting the season 27-12. Starter Michael Lorenz had his best outing of the season for Colorado, giving up just 2 hits, 1 earned run, and a season-high 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. In his previous 4 starts, the veteran right-hander had allowed 22 earned runs across 15 2/3 innings. Shoto Imanaga threw 5 scoreless innings for the Cubs, allowing only 2 hits and striking out 7. Cubs right-hander Edward Cabrera is 3-3 with a 4.99 ERA and is set to face right-hander Ryan Feltner, who is 2-1 with a 4.22 ERA on Thursday in the series finale. In scores from around the MLB last night, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Boston Red Sox 7-5, while the New York Yankees beat the Cleveland Guardians 8-4. The San Francisco Giants took down the Washington Nationals 11-10, while the San Diego Padres beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-4. The Baltimore Orioles beat the Seattle Mariners 7-2, while the Miami Marlins shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks 8-0. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 9-8, while the Minnesota Twins took down the Detroit Tigers 6-4. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Toronto Blue Jays 7-4, while the Texas Rangers beat the Kansas City Royals 6-4 in 10 innings. The Athletics beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3, while the Los Angeles Angels beat the Houston Astros 3-2 in 10 innings. The Knicks came from a record-breaking 29 points down and moved to the brink of their first championship since 1973 by beating the San Antonio Spurs 107-106 in Game 4 of the finals on OG Anunoby's tip-in with 1.2 seconds remaining. Anunoby leaped when Jalen Brunson's long three-point shot bounced off the front of the rim, with his right hand stretching high to softly flick it in. The Knicks have a 3-1 lead and 3 chances to win the best-of-7 series, starting with Game 5 on Saturday night in San Antonio. It looked impossible early when the Spurs rolled to a 27-point halftime lead, but Brunson helped bring the Knicks back with 36 points, and Anunoby finished with 33. No team had come back from more than 24 points down in a finals game when Boston did it against the Lakers in 2008, since the NBA began keeping detailed play-by-play for all 4 quarters in 1997. The Spurs led 81-52 in the third quarter. But the young Spurs, who made 11 of their first 16 three-pointers, went cold in the second half, going 3 for 17 behind the arc as the Knicks outscored them 58-30. Wembanyama had 24 points and 13 rebounds, but shot just 9 for 25 from the field. But the Knicks gave themselves a chance by limiting the Spurs to 14 points on 4 for 20 shooting in the third, using a 13-0 run to get back in it and cutting it to 90-75 heading into the fourth. Dylan Harper scored 21 points, and De'Aaron Fox and Devin Vassell each had 18 for the Spurs, who will try to regroup and send the series back to New York for Game 6 next Tuesday. Only one team, Cleveland and LeBron James in 2016, has recovered from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. Wembanyama, who was also called for a flagrant, stood up okay against the Knicks, but will regret the 2 free throws he missed with 1:47 left and San Antonio leading 104-103. The Spurs broke to a 12-2 lead, giving them a double-digit advantage in the first quarter of all 4 games. They kept pouring it on and led 41-22 after 1, then extended it to 57-32 when Julian Champagne's three-pointer made them 11 for 16 from behind the arc. In the NHL Stanley Cup Final Series, the Las Vegas Golden Knights take on the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 5 with the series tied 2-2 in the game tonight in Raleigh, North Carolina. Green Bay Packers tight end Tucker Kraft said he expects to open training camp on the physically unable to perform list, but he should be ready for the start of the season. Kraft hasn't played since tearing his ACL and getting carted off Lambeau Field on November 2nd during a 16-13 loss to the Carolina Panthers. Kraft's injury ended what had been the best season of his career. The 2023 third-round draft pick out of South Dakota State caught 32 passes for 489 yards in 8 games. Although Kraft played fewer than half of the Packers' games, his 6 touchdown catches tied the team for the lead. The week before his injury, Kraft caught 7 passes for 143 yards and had 2 touchdowns in a 35-25 win at Pittsburgh. The Packers have already signed wide receivers Jaden Reed and Christian Watson to long-term deals over the last 2 months. Kraft figures to be next in line as his contract is set to expire after the season, and the Packers don't want to see him enter free agency. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times today, with daytime highs approaching 89. Winds out of the south